Here's the harsh truth. 95% of creative professionals are trapped trading hours for dollars, a mistake that costs them over $10,000 by year's end. You accept the scope creep, the endless revisions, and the inconsistent paychecks that chip away at your freedom. Every month you delay changing the system is another month of income left on the table. Let's stop this cycle together. I'll show you how. Before we dive in, I want to be crystal clear. I'm a financial educator, not a licensed financial advisor. The ideas we talk about here are for educational purposes, to help you build awareness and ask better questions. This isn't personalized financial advice, so please always consult with a qualified professional for your unique situation. Okay, let's get into it. The root of this trap isn't a lack of talent or a poor work ethic. It's a deep, internal conflict that most creatives carry, the quiet battle between our art and our commerce. From the moment we first picked up a camera, a pen, or a Wacom tablet, we're subtly taught that our creativity is a pure, sacred calling. Money, on the other hand, is often framed as transactional, impersonal, even a little dirty. So we build an invisible wall between our creative passion and the business of making a living. We create in one space, and we handle money in another, hoping they never have to mix. But when a client arrives, that wall is tested. Suddenly we have to put a price on something that feels priceless. It's deeply uncomfortable, almost like we're betraying the craft itself. So we retreat to what feels justifiable and safe: our time. We charge by the hour because it feels more honest, more tangible than trying to price the intangible magic of a great idea. But in doing so, we accidentally anchor our value to the clock, not to the incredible, lasting transformation we deliver for our clients. We're not selling a logo, we're selling a brand's future identity. We're not selling a photo shoot, we're selling cherished memories. So how do we bridge this gap between our art and our finances in a way that honors both? What if the answer isn't some new business hack, but a timeless principle that master craftspeople have used for centuries? That timeless principle is the timeless Boss principle of value exchange. Now, I know that might sound like a dry business school term, but I want you to hear it differently. Think of it not as a transaction, but as a transfer of transformation. At its core, a healthy and sustainable business isn't built on trading one thing for another of equal worth. It's built on a beautiful imbalance, where both you and your client feel like you received more than you gave. Your client gives you money, a resource they have. In return, you give them something far more valuable, to them: a solution, a new identity, a feeling of peace, a path to more revenue. For them, the $1,000 they paid for your work is a small price for the $20,000 problem you just solved. They walk away feeling they got a fantastic deal. And you receive that $1,000, which is far more valuable to you than the 10 hours of focused effort you invested. It represents security, freedom, and the fuel to continue your craft. You also walk away feeling you got a fantastic deal. This is the essence of value exchange, a win-win scenario where value is created, not just traded. This is the principle that breaks the chains of the clock. When you stop thinking, how many hours will this take, and start asking, what transformation am I creating, and what is that transformation worth to my client, everything changes. You're no longer a laborer selling time. You become a partner delivering outcomes. This shift is the single most powerful step you can take toward building a creative practice that is not only profitable, but also deeply fulfilling, because it aligns your financial success directly with the positive impact you have on others. It honors both the art and the commerce by making them serve the same purpose, delivering profound value. To make this principle tangible, let's use an analogy from a world we all understand, the world of a master chef. Imagine a master chef in a world-renowned restaurant. If a patron asked for the price of her signature dish, would she pull out a timesheet? Well, the prep took 18 minutes, the searing was 7 minutes, and the plating was 4, so that will be $62 based on our hourly rate. Of course not. It sounds absurd. The price isn't based on the time spent in the kitchen that evening. It's based on the entire value proposition. The price reflects the years of training, the sourcing of rare ingredients, the artistry of the flavor combination, and the unforgettable experience the diner walks away with. The chef isn't selling minutes of cooking. She's selling a transformation of simple ingredients into something transcendent. She has productized her expertise into a menu. Charging by the hour is the creative equivalent of being a line cook, focused on the labor, the time at the station. Productizing is stepping into the role of the master chef. You package your unique process, your expertise, and your vision into a signature offering that delivers a specific, high-value result for a fixed price. You stop selling the labor and start selling the masterpiece. The logic is simple, but the execution feels hard. So, what truly separates the line cook from the master chef isn't just a different pricing model. It's a fundamentally different way of seeing their own worth. How, then, do we make that internal shift? It begins by consciously changing the story you tell yourself about your role. For so long, many of us have identified as artists who do business. We see ourselves as creators first, and then, reluctantly, we put on a business hat when a client calls. This identity forces us into a passive stance. We wait for the brief, we react to the request, and we hope our art is valued. It positions us as a vendor, a skilled pair of hands hired to execute someone else's vision. The shift is to step fully into the identity of a creative professional. This isn't a lesser title, it's an empowered one. A creative professional doesn't just wait for a problem to arrive. They are a guide who leads the client to a better outcome. They don't just execute a vision, they help shape it. They are strategists, consultants, and partners who use their creative skills as powerful tools to build tangible results. You stop being a reactive service provider and become a proactive problem solver who confidently architects the solution. So this fundamental shift isn't about spreadsheets or sales tactics. It's about how you see yourself. It's the internal move from being a passive artist for hire to becoming an active architect of value. This change in perspective is the foundation for everything else. Let's bring it all together and map out the exact steps you can take to build your first productized offer. So the blueprint begins with this one. Powerful idea. You are not a vendor of time. You are an architect of value. It's the internal shift from being a reactive artist for hire to a proactive professional who guides clients to a transformation. This is how we bridge that gap between our art and our commerce, by pricing the masterpiece, not the minutes it took to create it. This is the foundation upon which your entire sustainable practice will be built. I would genuinely love to hear from you in the comments. What is the biggest mental block holding you back from pricing your value instead of your time? There's real power in sharing that. And if you're ready to keep building your blueprint for a more profitable and fulfilling creative life, subscribe and join us. We have so much more to map out together. Until next time.